On my last Inktober video, you got to see how the story started, but you didn't get to see how it ended. So let's do that today. We left things on a bit of a cliffhanger because the Queen had just given the evil frog prince a dagger to go and kill the princess. And on day 16, we see the princess in the forest blithely unaware of the trouble to come. But the Queen has sent her demon prince on his mission. He saddles up to attack her while she's sleeping. But the bees protect her and swarm the prince. The Queen, it's safe to say, was not very happy. The Frog Prince, for his failure, spent day 21 languishing in the Queen's dungeon. But all was not lost, because the Rogue Frog army were loyal to him and knew a company who specialised in escapes. The princess was finding the freedom of the forest quite heavenly and was learning the basics of astral travel so she could better follow her path in life. Despite the sudden appearance of the Queen, the prince made good his escape in a shallow tunnel, pulled on a sled by rats who had a network of tunnels that led back to the forest. Well, the Queen wasn't going to just leave it at that, and you can bet she was mad as all hell. So she set out in her demon shape down the tunnel to follow the prince to the forest. Keen to exploit the Queen's absence from the castle, the frogs concocted a plan to steal back the night's spoils from the castle keep, disguising themselves as surf delivery cartmen. What happened next was quite beastly, and only getting the dagger free from the magic door's keyhole could save the prince. The frogs were quite happy though, because they'd reached the Queen's treasure. The princess didn't get to the knight in time to stop him being swallowed, but she did have the dagger, so she could cut him out. And out he came, armour and all. No wonder the Queen had had indigestion. Everybody rushed at the Dragon Queen to shove her back behind the door and lock it as quickly as possible, using the dagger. The dagger stayed in the door after that, and nobody could open the key because it seemed to need a princess's strength. The princess decided not to throw it in the lake either, because the frogs weren't really to be trusted. The princess rather fancied staying in the forest because she had found her treasure that the map had promised her. She had also found the key, and as long as the dagger never left the door, she would be safe in the forest. The knight, having gotten his armour back, was keen to move on to the next adventure, so he set out along the road, and the princess climbed a tree to wave goodbye. And they all lived happily ever after.